Hit that like, hit that follow. It's time to talk some puck. We got a lot to talk about tonight, so let's get to it.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck night! Oh, this game can heat stink!
Oh, shit!
It's gone!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour live on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Sensuti, along with the Darkwing, Brian Daly.
Yo, I love the fact that they put Frank's the one who was laughing, Ralphie's broken chair into the new intro. I love it. It makes me laugh every time.
And the broken one, Rob Povia.
Ditto to what he said, and boys, sorry for the late start, man. I'm going to be late to my own funeral.
All good, man. All good. We're not in a rush.
That's all right. Elizabeth Taylor was late to her own funeral. Anyway, all right. And if you know who Elizabeth Taylor is, good for you. But anyway, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Hockey Happy Hour, and we are live right here talking about the Flyers and training camp. We'll also be talking about a certain somebody who finally put the pen to paper and put his John Hancock onto a contract for the Minnesota Wild. It took a long-ass time, but they finally got it done. We'll talk about that as well. And today's show brought to you by Body Check Wellness, as always, created by former Philadelphia and Phantoms enforcer Riley Cote. It is a line of products using hemp. They also have THC-free products as well. It is gummies, ointments, edibles, and it helps you with your focus and your clarity, getting things into perspective. It also helps you with dieting and such like that. And you can get 25% off your order if you use the A2D promo code that you see at the bottom of your screen. So, yeah, ladies and gents, definitely worth checking them out. Rob will tell you right now, he has never been performing better with the use of Body Check Wellness.
Yeah, despite the lateness, I got a hell of a lot of shit done before I came on the show tonight. And I thank it all to Body Check Wellness.
Nice. And we head to our Twitter poll question brought to you by anyone out there, on a serious note, real quick, anyone out there struggling with any kind of mental issues or addiction issues, Counseling Center, Sunrise Detox, give them a call at 856-651-8117. If you or a loved one are suffering from it, make the call, make it happen as soon as you can. We don't want to see that kind of stuff spiral out of control for you or that loved one. So get that taken care of. All right, so the question is, the Wade Allison injury is devastating for the Flyers. Agree or disagree? Wade Allison went out with an ankle sprain. Gentlemen, what do you think? Agree or disagree?
Start up, brother.
All right, my brother. Yeah, I think I'm on the fence because it's huge, because it's going to be his first full season with the Flyers, and he had such a good showing last year in that little bit of time. Showed that he's got a nose for the net, gets in the dirty areas. He's blue collar, hardworking type of player. It's incredibly unfortunate for him to go down with this ankle injury and be out indefinitely. I'm hoping it's not a long-term deal, because it just sucks for them. But to what Emilio said, it's got to be next man up, and it just opens up the door for somebody else. Not saying that Wade Allison's not going to get that opportunity back, but so yeah, I'm going to say I disagree, because the kid's still going to have plenty of time. The kid's got plenty of more opportunities moving forward, and I think it's his spot for when he comes back.
Got Eileen saying disagree to the poll. What's going on, Eileen? She also said,
What's up, Eileen?
Yeah, how is everybody doing this evening as well on this last summer evening, as she said.
I am mentally and physically exhausted. Just putting that out there.
The summer isn't over until my last beach trip, so we got till the end of September for that.
There you go. And Benny's Nation saying, disagree. Not sure I would use the term devastating until we know the full extent. It was just to pop it. If anything else, just wanted to make sure it caught everybody's eyes. So sometimes you got to use some colorful language to do so. And I can't use the colorful language I like to use on the show, on the poll questions, unfortunately.
It's not that far. It's not that far off. I mean, I disagree too. But the way it happened, whenever you get legs tangled, man, that could lead to a serious injury. And Wyatt Allison has had his share of injuries coming up the ladder, making his way to the NHL level, along with Samuel Moran, who also got hurt in that same game. I almost think, for me, that's more devastating to me because I love me some Samuel Moran, and just another injury to that knee. I don't know how much longer he can keep on going at it at this point. I mean, kudos to him. A lot of people would have retired by now. Ultimately, I had to disagree with this because of the other news that came out today after the show criteria was submitted, and that was Flyers Kevin Hayes being out 6 to 8 weeks after abdominal surgery, feeling a little pull in his groin area during the last scrimmage in Voorhees. And, you know, he had that sports hernia surgery last year, this stemming from the same area. That could be potentially devastating in my eyes. Wyatt Allison, yes, that hurts. He's a young and up-and-coming guy, but this team worked on their depth, and you could easily slide Broussard over to the wing from the center ice position to take his spot on that third line and slot in Morgan Frost there on the center. They have ways to adapt for Wyatt Allison's absence. I'm not sure if they have ways to adapt for potential Kevin Hayes absence, who at this point we roughly miss, I guess, about the first 10 games of the season.
Roughly, if my math is right. And usually it's not, so I'm not really all that worried about it. So, I mean, I think that Kevin Hayes is going to be a little more devastating, so I'm in agreement with you, Rob. 6 to 8 weeks for a guy who's going to be a leader, a guy who's going to need to have that chemistry going for, you know, the line that he's going to be with, and projected line mates being Cam Atkinson. And I honestly, I kind of would have considered putting Wyatt Allison up there too. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it is definitely tough for seeing a young guy like Wyatt Allison take a hit like that. But again, he's young, he's up and coming, he's got plenty of time, and it's an ankle sprain. There's probably going to be a little bit of a longer term injury than people would like, being an ankle sprain. And you see it in the NFL, guys are over in a few weeks or whatever, and then that's not always the case. But you know, hopefully it's just something he just needs a little bit of time with, misses a few weeks, misses maybe like a week or two of the season, and then he jumps back in.
Well, he required surgery on the right ankle. I'm not sure if that's the same ankle that he hurt in this injury, but that was the injury, the aforementioned injury that I was speaking with Wyatt Allison.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Speaking of injuries, I think that's like I have the Phillies and the Baltimore Orioles game on the background. There's like 5 batters that have been hit by pitches in this game. Oh my God.
They think they're playing hockey.
Yeah, just turn it off.
It's nuts. Like, it's just crazy.
Anyway. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out real quick to Flyers Ally 2020 up on Twitch. So if anybody's on Twitch, you just subscribe to us and get it on the Hockey Talk. You can get YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. We were on Instagram. We're not on Instagram anymore, I don't think. We're everywhere. Podcast, Apple, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Spotify, whatever you got. We're everywhere. Be great today. Absolutely. Subscribe, like, and become a member. Just do great things. Just become a member.
Absolutely.
And let's fuck with an algorithm. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
If there's one thing that A2D likes to do, it's fuck with algorithms. On to... Right. And we got Prism saying, hey, my guys, what's up, Prism? Oh, and for Prism, I went to go see Megadeth and Lamb of God on Wednesday. He wanted to see if I had any victims from the pit. I do, just for everyone to enjoy. Yes, this is, got him. I got him during the Lamb of God set. So there we go. There's that one. I savored the victory during the during the Megadeth showing. So there we go.
He decomposed pretty fast.
He did. You would be surprised what you can do when you use a hairdryer on flesh. Anyway,
you just use a little bit of acid.
I would. I actually used acetone, believe it or not, and it worked beautiful. Anyway,
hey, yo, Chris, see you did that fantasy draft. I wonder who the guy was that gave you that idea to do a fantasy draft.
Yeah.
And let's see, we got Don saying, "What's up? What's up, Don?
What's going on, D?"
And Larry saying the injury to Hayes will be a blessing in the sky. Opportunity for Frost.
I mean, I think Frost is going to have that opportunity anyway. I mean, even with Hayes in the lineup, he had a shot on the roster last year before he got hurt. I think it's just going to be a huge opportunity for him if he can stay healthy. I think it's an opportunity to be on a higher line. That's the only opportunity I see for him.
Yeah, an opportunity to prove his own, wherewithal in the health department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And Benny, just to clarify, this is not an 80-year-old woman, it's a 70-year-old woman. If you're going to get it right, get the ages right. Anyway.
Were you picking up some change? Is that what happened? Is that what I saw?
Yeah. And Jesse's saying...
Let's be real. I mean, I really don't see Maddie being able to take anybody other than an 80-year-old woman. Not to be that guy. But, I mean, I'm going to be real. I mean, Maddie can do 80. I can't take anybody under 95. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. They have to already be dead for me to be able to take them.
And Jesse was asking how Dave Mustaine was. I hear he's having a rough day. Oh, man, the drugs fucking did a number on his ass. I will just say that. He looked like he was 80 up on stage.
Doesn't do it for us all.
Sounds a little familiar to a guy like Axl Rose, who's essentially going through the same thing.
Yeah.
That's right, Priz. And I got to remember to send you my new roster tonight since the free agency. I haven't sent you the new roster, the new lines yet.
Gotcha.
I lost my freaking first game. Are you kidding me? All I got to say is Peter Mrazek sucks in NHL 21.
All right. For say, if Darkwing is chasing you, just turn right and he'll run himself to exhaustion in a circle.
That's accurate, actually. That's pretty accurate. I got to put that out there.
Jesse saying Jerry Garcia was 53 when he died, and he looked like 88, just like Santa Claus.
Yeah, but Jerry Garcia died from stop using drugs. Like, he got clean, and then he died, like, shortly thereafter. His body wasn't used to not having drugs in the system. So, I mean, at a certain point, you just got to keep on going, like Keith Richards. You know what I
mean? Yeah, whole new reason why he's still breathing.
He's still 3 packs a day. Are you kidding? Keith Richards has been dead for about 15 years. He just doesn't know it yet.
Nope.
He refuses. His body going. He's already dead.
He refuses to go. He just like, no. Why leave? I have it good, man. I'm a rock and roll freaking royalty. I ain't leaving.
Him and Mick Jagger both sold their souls to the devil, and that's what's keeping them alive. Come on, man.
Oh,
they have a symphony for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which ties back to Dave Mustaine with Symphony of Destruction. Yes. Let's see how it goes all around.
Yes, I see what you did there. Yeah.
Merry-go-round is up and down and around. It's circular.
Just to say, diabetes and heroin, not a good combo for Garcia. No. Malmos also said Guns N' Roses is overrated. I half agree on that one. I like some Guns N' Roses song, but I do feel like they're considered like gods, and like they only put out 3 albums because Use Your Illusion had 2 albums to it, and that was it. You know, like literally, that's it. But anyway,
I gotta have to agree with John though. I think they were incredibly overrated. Outside of Slash made the band as good as they were. It wasn't Axl. I can promise you that.
No, Axl is just a pain in the ass, really, if anything.
They didn't get along either, which is actually really funny. That's actually really not that funny, but anyway, let's get back to hockey. This is the second week in a row we're getting thrown off by music.
That's all right. It's a good thing. The Flyers Alley 2020 saying, plus I'm more afraid of Moran being hurt than Allison and Hayes. Ryan Reeves plays for the Rangers now, and having him and Wilson lurking around, you're going to need Moran.
I agree.
I agree, but I'm over Moran. Like, he's a great kid. He seems like an awesome dude. He's a very good hockey player, but the cat can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
He can't stay healthy. This is what I don't think he's had a full season yet.
No, he hasn't.
Nope.
At some point, you got to cut the cord with this kid. Like, I don't want to see him go because he brings a physical aspect to this team that nobody else has. He's very Pronger-like in a lot of his playing styles. He can't stay healthy. You got to cut ties at some point.
And they put a lot of stock in him on the other side of the coin, Brian, because they shed Shane Gostisbehere in the desert. Shane Moran was going to be your seventh defenseman for a defensive core that got better but got older too. So you know what I mean? Like, you were going to really rely on that seventh defenseman on top of the point that Flyers Alley brings up about that physical level of play, having Reeves in the division. Wilson, absolutely agree with that. I mean, Ristolainen can help you out with that, but that's more in terms of the physical, hard-hitting game. But in terms of dropping the gloves game, that's Moran for you.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it hurts.
Oh, yeah. Plus, you got Yandle now. Yandle's a physical player.
True.
So he'll keep guys, laying on the ice.
True.
And as far as Flyers Alley's comment here, I don't necessarily say he's starting to look bad yet. I mean, the guy played with an injury last year. It's not like he was playing piss poor, 100% healthy. He was playing poorly because of sports hernia. He's going into his 30 years with the Flyers out of, 5? I think this is the year that's either going to make the contract look really, really good, or I think it's going to be the point where the contract's just going to be I don't think it's really going to look bad after that first year. And just because of what he brings to the table as far as leadership, playing style, playing ability, and just the ability to keep things light. The guy, he's a goofy dude. His timing on everything is just spot on. 7 years?
Yeah.
Right.
50 mil.
So, I mean, even still, I still think unless he really bombs out over the next 2 or 3 years, I don't know if this contract can look really bad. As long as he's 100% healthy, I think we're going to see the Kevin Hayes that we had year one.
I feel my opinion on this is, I said this before about his sports hernia. He played through that and he didn't play well. And it made me wonder why he even bothered to play. It's like, just go get the surgery, come back stronger. I'm still saying that right now. It's like, I'm happy he's taking care of this now. So when he comes back for the season, sure, there might be a slight adjustment of him getting back into the playing of things, but it won't take long. And then he should be back to 100%, and he should be playing very well then. And I'll be perfectly fine with it. I'd rather have him address it now with full 82 than have him try to play through it, get closer to the All-Star break or the Olympic break, and he can't play. Next thing you know, in the second half, when you might need him, he's not here. And he didn't play all that well to begin with. It's like, great, you just wasted 2 years of your contract,
All right, so real quick,
Brian, I got to jump in there with that because I kind of disagree a little bit. I mean, didn't he get a procedure for a sports hernia at the end of the season, and now this is a second ailment on top of that? See, that's what bothered me. I'm not sure about that because I thought, in actual agreement with you, Maddie, that had he had taken care of it during the season last year, there's more time to recover before you get active with training camp instead of getting it at the end of the season, shorten off season, and then getting back to it, leading to a secondary injury. Maybe you guys could tell me if he never really had a procedure, you just let it heal on its own. That's what I don't know.
I'm thinking that he went against and didn't get the procedure right away. Or he was told not to get the procedure right away, and now he's going against it to get the procedure done. So he's probably going to miss most of October and a little bit into November. That's kind of what I'm taking away from it, is he never got the first procedure done.
Oh, okay.
He's just now getting it done now, going against the Flyers. I guess he's going against the Flyers to get it done.
Well, according to the Sportsnet report that came out, this was 12:30 in the afternoon, so maybe there was another update after that. They're estimating 6 to 8 weeks, missing the first 10 games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So I
I
don't know
mean,
if that goes along with your time frame there.
like I said, I don't necessarily. My math is usually off, but I'm also trying to think about time to rehab, time to get back on the ice, get back into playing shape. Because I don't necessarily think he's going to be back on the. I mean, if he's back in 6 weeks, great. Then you got 2 weeks there to, get back into playing shape, get back into game shape, and get back out on the ice, and maybe you're back out there before November. So maybe he does only miss the 10 games, but it depends on how he heals and how fast he heals. Flyers Alley. I mean, we'll see, man. But I'll definitely check you guys out. Old City Sports Network and Flyers Alley podcasts. We'll definitely check you out. We appreciate the love.
Absolutely, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep kicking ass and taking names.
Absolutely.
All right, then. Let's see here. We've got Moira. What's going on, Moira? She was saying he also just lost his brother. He'll be fine. He's a fun player with a lot of respect from his teammates. Ready for Fly Guys this year. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Love the positivity.
I mean, like, I hate to say it because as someone who's been through something similar with my mom, just losing that person, like it sticks with you. Like, we're going on 21 years in October for myself, but it sticks with you. But you got to be able to, like, and again, I'm not saying this in any kind of disrespectful way. Put that stuff in the back of your mind, and you got to move forward. You got to move on because it's what my mom wants for me. It's what Rob's mom wants for him. It's what Jimmy's going to want for Kevin. So he's got to be able to move on with his life and get going again and get back to playing his game because Kevin knows in his mind that that's what's going to make Jimmy happy. And at the end of the day, I mean, Rob, I know I don't want to completely speak for you, but I know that's what my mom wants for me. Looking down on me, seeing that I'm completely happy, and knowing that I'm doing everything I can to make myself happy. And that's what Jimmy wants for. I'm just assuming here. I'm sure that's what Jimmy wants for Kevin.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that one.
I love you too, John. You the man. What's up, Wheels?
Prism was saying about I'd say fairy, but I don't want to get accosted sexually in terms of someone stepping up offensively.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
We're
my.
still on this, Priz? Oh my god.
Apparently.
I'm starting to think that he might want it.
Yeah. It's the what's that,
kidding.
subliminal? What is subliminal?
I'm just kidding.
Benny's Nation saying, do you think it's possible the death of his brother postponed him wanting to get the surgery? Maybe it's possible if he felt like he wasn't going to be able to be there for the for a funeral or what have you, but not sure about that.
Benny, Jesse, I appreciate it, you guys. She's suffered a little bit fighting cancer, and I know she's not suffering anymore. She's in a much better place, and she's still a part of me. So I appreciate those kind words, fellas. You guys are awesome.
And Benny's Nation, don't worry, Pris. I would say Farabee as well if we get sexually accosted together. Just don't look me in the eyes. Well, at least you got someone who's willing to join you.
What it sounds to me like is Benny and Priz want to go to Paris with Greg Malakovic. That's what it sounds like to me.
Hey, listen, if that
One on
means
each side, high-fiving each other.
Hey, listen, if that means Joel Farabee is putting up like freaking Lemieux style like fucking numbers, I don't give two flying fucks. Have fun, guys. Have fun in Paris. On to
don't look at your like Benny said. Don't look at each other in the eyes. Just give yourselves a high five. Right over Greg.
No look high five.
And Greg to Paris. That's all.
And let's see. John Malmo saying, not really. Everyone seems to love Sam. Not so much with Carson. Talking about how Sam Moran was the Carson Wentz of the NHL.
I mean, I can kind of see it, but yeah, I mean, to John's point, yeah, people, they love Sam. Everybody wants Sam to succeed. I want Sam to succeed. He's a great player. The dude just doesn't know how to stay healthy, and I feel for the kid. I really do, and it's the knees. Ever since that first knee injury, he's never been the same player.
Yeah, true. Let's see. John saying, "What's up, gents? Early injuries, boo." Yeah, definitely.
At least they're early.
And Brian Wheeler saying, "What's up, boys? What's going on, Brian?"
You catch Wheels on Kicking It Stateside every other day. Seems like.
It's a busy time of year for the football.
Oh, Jesse, yeah. We do a great job over him and Adam Modiak, so you can check those boys out on Kicking It Stateside. Again, if you've liked and subscribed to everything that we do, you get your notifications. You know when Kicking It Stateside goes off, so give those guys some love. They do a great job over there.
Absolutely. Jesse wants me to show my senior portrait. Well, let me get out of the way. There it is.
I mean, let's be real. Matty hasn't aged much. He's just losing a little.
I'm just losing this, unfortunately.
It's going backwards.
Yeah, it's running away, unfortunately.
Mine's coming forward.
That's what happens, yo. He always wants to move around. But that picture, I always love that picture, man. You look like you belong in the School Rock. You know what I mean? Little Jack Black protege right there. Maybe a little AC/DC. Yeah.
And a fun little note too. They pulled me out of gym class to take those photos, and I was all red because as a ginger, I get red when I sweat. And then on top of it as well, that suit is not a suit. They had the back cut out and then just threw it on you.
Wow. I was going to say, because they did the same thing with me for my senior pictures, is they gave you it's like a collar with just a chest part.
Yeah.
And then they give you the tie on there, and it's a clip-on tie.
Yeah.
And they just give you a jacket. They don't even give you the full jacket. They give you the full jacket. But everything else is just kind of like there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they did. At least I didn't have to bring a suit because I didn't own one at the time. Anyway, Benny's Nation said, who in the prospect game impressed you the most? Gentlemen.
I can't answer that. I haven't seen any of the prospect game. I figure you guys had an opportunity to see it. Really, some of it.
I mean, Forrester, certainly that wicked wrist shot that knocked the water bottle off. I mean, how can you not be impressed with that?
Yeah,
such
that's
disrespect
true.
to the goaltender too.
Yeah, it is.
So disrespectful to the goaltender.
Listen,
twisted wrister.
Sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to put that bitch in his place. Let the goalie know this ain't his shit. This is yours.
That's right. That's right.
All right, then. So, gentlemen, let's get into it. I have the training camp roster up and ready to go. So we get a chance to take a look at who we've got available on the Flyers rosters here and see what kind of players you think might make a big impression during training camp and hopefully have themselves a strong, hopeful beginning to maybe seeing them in an orange and black jersey somewhere down the line. So starting off here with the forwards, first name was Wyatt Allison, but we can just skip right over that because of his right ankle sprain. But we have seen him play in a Flyers jersey. We would love to see more of it.
It's actually kind of funny you bring that up because I actually did reach out to him to be a guest on the show. He never responded.
Oh, that sucks. That would have been great. Hey, Wade, listen, man, if you're recovering and you want to say, fuck you to the Rangers, you could say fuck you to the Rangers. Right here on this show.
No, I was talking about Johnny Leclerc.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Wade. My bad. My bad.
I have no idea how the hell I'm going to get in touch with him, but I would love to get him on the show. Are you kidding?
Well, I figured social media, I'm sure he has it.
I mean, we're not going to get lucky like we did with Chris Pronger.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
He still responds to me, by the way, which is really awesome.
Nice.
So maybe I should be deemed Chris Pronger's best friend, not his. Me.
I don't know. You have to have him call you.
The guy.
Yeah, but you have to have him call you out on the air. That's a very special bond right there that him and Priz have.
Are you kidding me? Did you not tell it? Do you not remember what happened at the end of the show? Told Brad, show off the hat. Brad, show off the hat. Boom, show off the Stanley Cup hat.
But that's him. But that's you showing. But that's not him chirping at you. That's him just saying show that appreciating.
That's him appreciating Stanley Cup championship, the only one he got, because we know he didn't get one in Philly.
All right, we'll leave this out to the fam. What's a more important bond? Chris Pronger telling you to show off the 2007 Stanley Cup hat because it was the Ducks, or getting chirped at by Chris Pronger for making a comment. Like, what's more of a special bond? You guys decide out there. We'll make that a poll question now.
Or option C, being called Pog the whole show.
You don't correct him for that. You definitely don't correct him for that.
That's what I told other people. I was like, whatever Chris Pronger wants to call me is fine in my book. I don't really care. He called me a fucking asshole. I don't give a shit. I'll be like, yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's funny.
If you call me Brain, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. I'm Brain. I'm Brain the rest of the day. That's the show. I'm Brain.
I'm Brain Daily. Okay.
I'm Brain Daily. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
You always want to have a Brain Daily.
If you're Brain, that must mean he's Pinky?
I guess so.
He's on the smart one.
Yeah. What are we going to do today, Brain?
What we always do. Try to take over the world.
Oh, I love that. I love it.
Oh, John, look at John. It's like Chris Pronger talked to me, and I jizzed in my face.
Little Lizaroo.
I kid you not, Johnny. I kid you not. Everybody else seemed kind of like relaxed and cool, like talking to Chris. I'm sitting there. I'm like, well. I kind of want to know what was it like, winning? Did you know? It's like the Chris Farley skit when he's interviewing on Saturday Night Live when he's interviewing Paul McCartney. So, did you know from the get go that the Anaheim Ducks were going to win the Stanley Cup? Was that like the locker room vibe? Because if it was, that was like really awesome.
Did you know that you were part of that 2010 Flyers team that went to the Stanley Cup?
Which did you like better? Because it was really awesome.
Oh, what's up, Tom?
What's up, Tommy? That's a great skit from Saturday Night Live, though. That's a great skit. Yeah, Jesse Pronger is a legend.
He is. And actually, when we had Riley Cote on here, again, Body Check Wellness, 25% off with that A2D code. Go get that shit. When we had him on for the first time around, he was talking. When we mentioned we had Pronger on the show, and I believe Bry was the one who brought it up. And Cote said that Chris kept calling him Rigatoni the entire time, which is pretty funny.
I probably should have. I probably should have started calling him Rigatoni. I would have called him Big Rig, but that's Maroon's. That's Maroon's nickname.
Yeah, that's kind of a hockey rule. You never call somebody another nickname. That's kind of, you don't want to do that. But Prism saying he tried to trip me to death for saying I'm glad he never played for the Red Wings. He just didn't seem to know I died inside years ago.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I remember that. I actually listened to that interview not that long ago. It was so good. And Pronger was so awesome. He gave us so much great stuff to work with, and he's definitely a true professional and super nice guy. And I would love to try and get him back on here again.
Yeah, that was an awesome show. Awesome show that we had with Chrome from Lazy Booking. So, yeah, that was an awesome show.
Jesse, I don't know if you have any social media. If you have any Facebook or anything like that, dude, hit me up. I'll send you the interview.
Absolutely.
I'll send you the interview. I think Chrome from Lazy Booking was with us, and he's also on Birds with a Feather.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've met a few guys through the hockey store I used to work at. So it's how I met Colby Cohen, who's doing great stuff with the Chicago Blackhawks now. So good for him. He's doing the analysis stuff. I think I already said that on there. I met Moose. I've met Provorov. I've met a few guys through the hockey store. Most of these guys are really, really like super down to earth and super cool. So Moose was awesome. So I wish him nothing but the best in Tampa.
Prism saying, I'd like to call in if he's ever on. And what we could do, we could pregame this.
Mm-hmm.
We tell Pronger, hey, Prism's going to be on the show, the guy you were chirping at, and then bring Priz on, not tell him Pronger's going to be on, boom, drop Pronger in and just see the look on Prism's face. Great stuff right there. That would be gold.
You blew it though. You told him now, so whenever he has him on, he's going to always, or whenever we have him on, he's going to always suspect it.
No, honestly, at the end of the day, to be fair, I don't know if we would have. I don't know if it would have gone exactly according to plan anyway, honestly. It never goes according to plan here on the show.
Let's be real. It's Chris. He's not going to remember this tomorrow.
John saying, I met Darren Hatcher in 05 at a Target, and I instantly got nervous and dropped my Stone Sour CD, great band, by the way, on the ground, but managed to give him a handshake. Well, there you go. Of course.
I wasn't allowed to shake any of the hands of the guys that I've met. I was supposed to be professional. I wasn't even allowed to talk about, like when Moose came in, it was right after it was the day after he played that great game against the Rangers.
Okay.
It was he came in with his kids. I fitted his oldest son for skates, and it was great. He was awesome. He was working with me and not pushing me against anything. Like he knows, he essentially, like from what I was listening to him, he knows what he's looking for as far as skates for his kids or whatever. But wasn't allowed to shake his hand, wasn't allowed to meet him or like talk about the game or anything like that. I had to keep it professional and about the skates. Because that's all I push in that store is skates.
Well, that makes sense.
I love working there, though. It was fun. Like I love the crew that I worked with there. It was great. And then every once in a while, like I said, a pro would come in. Scotty Hartnell's been in there. Provy's been in there. Oh crap! Who's in there all the time? Nick Schultz is in there all the time. So I've met Nick Schultz a bunch of times. Nick Schultz is a great guy. Oh wow, John. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That is a good point, though. John does bring up a very good point. How isn't a handshake professional unless you just jerked off?
Because it's supposed to be about the kid, not about him. And no, I'm not supposed to be a fan. I'm just supposed to be a professional. I'm supposed to sell stuff. It wasn't very often I shook somebody's hand, even if it wasn't a professional. But it is what it is. Like I said, I have no hatred towards working there. Actually, I'm kind of upset I don't work for the company anymore. But that's a whole story for another day.
Let's see. We've got Chuck's chiming in, gentlemen.
What's up,
Chucks? How's it going, brother? Benny's Nation is just laughing out of the pandemonium that is the Hockey Happy Hour. But let us get back on track here. Oh, well, hold on. Brian, did you have the professional awkward 15-minute silence while the skates were baking on the kid's feet?
No, because for the kid, he didn't need him to be baked because of how young he is. They're already fairly broken in, and the skates that he got were going to break in quick anyway. If I remember correctly, he got the Supreme 3S, and because of his kid being considered a oh crap, what the hell was the size? Youth. It's a youth size. Most of those youth skates, unless it's like the real top of the line skate, don't necessarily need to be baked. If he was like a junior size, there probably would have been an awkward 15 minutes of silence. Usually takes about 5 minutes for the skate to bake, and then they have to sit on the foot for about 10 minutes. Jesse, I'm sure Jesse already knows that. Jesse says he goes into pure hockey all the time.
Gotcha. All right, then. So back to the training camp roster here.
God, I missed that job.
Other names up here on the list. Obviously, Cam Atkinson. We already know what he'll be doing. John Rendell, Avon, Derek Brassard, Jackson Cates, who I would like to see more of. He had a few moments here and there with the Flyers. He didn't look all that bad, but I'd like to see a little bit more of him.
Yeah, I heard he looked good at the end of the year last year. I didn't get to see much of the Flyers' final few weeks. I heard he did play pretty well up here. So did I know we'll touch on him a little bit more, but Zamula.
Yeah, definitely did. Elliot Denwye is going to have an opportunity in training camp. I'd like to see what he can do after getting drafted 2 years ago. And let's see, Ryan Fitzgerald, who I believe was one of their last-minute signings for scratches and such not. Gary Mayhew, Connor McLennan, Cale O'Reilly, Isaac Ratcliffe.
Cal O'Reilly's still a Flyer? I thought he was done. I thought his contract was up.
He's still here.
I wish he was. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on if he's related to Ryan or not, but if he is, he's not even half the player that Ryan is.
Not want to cut your nuts off live on the air, but good thing he doesn't listen.
He's a career AHLer. Like, I'm not trying to cut the dude's nuts off, but.
But anyway,
yes, the 2X were pretty comfortable. Of the new vapors, I thought the 3X Pro were the best ones. The Hyperlight kind of bit me on the ankle a little bit, so I wasn't a huge fan of that. I thought the 3X Pros were the best ones. But, dude, you're getting baked for not just nostalgia. You're getting baked because, one, it helps with the break-in. It actually cuts a few weeks off of the break-in process, so it takes about 2 more weeks to after you bake them to break them in. So, and even after that 2 weeks, you can bake them again, and it just makes it more comfy. That's all it is. It just helps with the break-in.
Well, there you go. And we got John saying expectations for Cam York. I have pretty decent expectations for him. I think he should make a good impression, training camp. I don't know if he'll be on the team immediately because of the fact that we've got a lot of players on the team right now that are going to be on the roster immediately starting out because of the signings and some of the other players that we have, like a Sanhein and such like that, who are going to be on the team as well. But I said this a few weeks ago. I would actually like to see if there is an injury that maybe Cam York gets brought up to have some opportunities to play maybe third pair, get an opportunity to work with maybe possibly a Keith Yandle or what have you, kind of get some experience under his belt and learn a little bit from him. That would be, I think, the most of what we would see of Cam York this year, unless he has an amazing preseason or something like that.
Yeah, if he has a good camp, he could earn. Because there is a spot open now, with Moran's injury. You know what I mean? Now, I said before that you don't want to keep this guy as your seventh defenseman. You want to play, whether that be on the AHL level or the NHL level. But, with other aging guys in here needing a break, Cam York could get some playing time. And he showed promise. He showed good calmness, controlling the puck, ability to quarterback a power play. Being that they got tougher in other areas of the defense, that'll be more of an asset now, I think. Kind of replacing what you're, that element of the game that Shane Gosper did bring.
No, absolutely. I think he does get an opportunity, and I think he actually does make the roster out of training camp. I'll be honest with you, Yandle's not a guy who's going to play 82 games anymore. He's not. I mean, he's 34 years old, and he hasn't been really – I don't want to necessarily say he hasn't had the opportunity to play full 82 anymore, but I just don't think he's built for that. So I think between him and Braun, you're going to see kind of a rotation between the two. And then, honestly, I could see Cam York being on the second pairing with Ristolainen. Ristolainen, I don't know how good his English is, to be completely honest with you. Could be tough to communicate, but Cam York's ability, I think he'd be a waste on the third pairing, to be completely honest with you.
Right.
Maybe you see him rotate with maybe Provorov to get some time with Ryan Ellis. I think he'd be a great guy to kind of learn from for Cam York and get an opportunity to play with here and there. But I could see him getting an opportunity to play on the second pairing every day. Barring he has a great camp and all.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important part.
Jesse saying, I hope we don't have any Andrew McDonald type players where no matter if we win or lose, you're like, ugh, after every game. That was exactly what I was like after every fucking game with Andrew McDonald. Oh my God.
He didn't even play every day.
Yeah.
At this stage of the game for Keith Yandle, you might have some games like that. You know what I mean? He's long in the tooth. You know what I mean? And didn't the Flyers get Andy McDonald towards tail end of his career after playing a few good years there on the island?
True. But I mean, with Yandle, it's a little bit better because we didn't sign him to like that gigantic fucking contract we signed McDonald to. So it's like a 1-year thing. So it's like, all right. I mean, if Yandle winds up not playing nearly as well, it's all right. Just move on from that. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? At least it's one of those kind of situations.
Now it gets risked a line, and that's a bigger problem because you gave up a good draft pick for him. Yeah.
Yes, that's a bit of a different ball game right there.
But as long as I don't care whatever the hell else he's doing. As long as he's clearing that porch, he will never have me doing the face palm ever. Because that's all we need from him, man. Clear that damn porch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Benny's name's just saying Yandle will play reduced minutes, so him playing 82 is not necessarily out of the question.
No, and I'm not saying it's out of the question. I don't see it, especially with where things are as far as players ready to make the jump. And Cam York's obviously numero uno on that list, and you want to give the guy the opportunity. Obviously, Brawny, on the final year of his contract, could possibly get traded by the deadline, depending on how well he's playing. So that could potentially open up a spot for Yandle to play a little bit more. But for right now, I just think the opportunity for York would be perfect if you play a little revolving door with Yandle and Braun. I don't know how you work the rotation, but maybe having Yandle play a couple games here, play Brawny for a couple games there on the third pairing, and give York an opportunity to play a good chunk of games and see how he does. Worst case scenario is you send it back down to Lehigh. He's still on his entry level contract, so you don't have to worry about him having to go through waivers just when you send him down.
Yeah. Prism saying, I'm expecting Yandle to be a massive plus on the power play for y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
And Jesse saying, well, we could have a Jack Johnson / McDonald line pairing, and then some fans blame the goaltender. The sad part of it is you're probably not far off on that.
No, Flyers fans? No, absolutely. It's never you have your few smart fans out there like us that understand the game and know that it's not always on the goaltender, but anytime a puck goes in the net, it's automatically goaltender's fault. So, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see here. Like I said, Isaac Ratcliffe, he missed the last training camp due to an injury, so hopefully he can bounce back on this one and have a really good run. And I was surprised to see this name. German Rupstov is actually here. I'm shocked. I thought the Flyers were done with him, honestly.
I'm not. I mean, things aren't ideal for him right now, but he's the type of guy, he's got to go out and play. So if he wants to be traded, he's not going to get traded sitting on the bench. Nobody's going to trade for that. He's got to be able to show off his ability and then show that he's taking the proper steps forward and progressing in his development to the point where they could be like, all right, let's take a flyer on this guy. Let's trade a third for him. Let's trade a fourth for him. Let's package a couple picks and send them to the Flyers. I think German Rupstov could be a huge plus for this team. He's got to play. He's got to play.
Benny's Nation saying, depending on how York looks in the preseason, I could see Braun dealt before the deadline.
I mean, not necessarily before the deadline, but if York plays well enough, I see Braun being traded for sure. So I agree with you. I agree with you to an extent there, Benny.
Jesse's saying shady Russians.
They dance that tightrope to get the hell out.
Good. The KHL must be real nice. That's all I can say for them. They must get paid in Ferraris and hot women and shit.
Wow. Okay.
What? It seems like they really don't mind going back to play for the KHL. They'll just say, fuck the NHL. I'm going back home. So it must be something.
Fast cars and hand jobs for everyone. No, it's Madonia.
I'm going to try and say this with a straight face, but I'm going to try my best. As having Russian in my blood, I'm incredibly offended by the shady remark. Hey, I did it. I didn't think I was going to get through it. To be completely honest with you, I'm offended.
Well, we always said you were PC. Now we know. All right. So.
You better knock it off. I'm just messing around.
Well, next up, we go to Matthew Strohm. He is related to Dylan Strohm, in case anybody wanted to know that.
And Ryan.
Yes, and Ryan. And
everybody forgets about Ryan. It's all about Dylan. It's all about Dylan.
I know. Listen, when you're the flashier one, hey, listen, man,
he's the flashier one because he's in Chicago. He's an assistant that works for him. Poor Ryan's stuck with the Rangers.
I know. Poor guy.
At least last I heard he's with the Rangers. I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah.
I think he got traded.
He might have.
For some reason, you know every move from every player.
Jesse, probably more like come play for the KHL and we won't threaten your family.
We won't send Bradfa.
Yeah, so that's why Kovalchuk decided to leave the Devils. Anyway, all right.
The only one. Gusev left too.
Yeah, that's true.
And now he's a professional tryout with one of the Canadian teams.
Although I will say we did lose Corbin Knight to the KHL, so I don't know how they wound up threatening his family. But anyway, all right.
I forgot about Corbin Knight. People were all about him because he had a goal in his first 5 minutes of his first game.
Yeah, and then after
in Philly, everybody likes to crown everybody before they play a full week's worth of games to see what they can actually do.
Yeah, and then the following offseason, he signed with the KHL, just said, fuck you, and left. I want them fucking hot chicks and Ferraris. All right, on to Maxim Sushko. Definitely would like to see... Would definitely like to see more of
I want to know where
Sushko.
Ryan Strom's playing. That's the question. Did Ryan Strom get traded? Because last I heard he was with the Rangers. I don't know if he's still there. Because everybody wants to forget about Ryan Strom because of Dylan in Chicago. And a lot of people aren't even sold on Dylan Strom. Yeah, right. I'm Ryan Strom. Oh, you're Dylan's brother. Why is everybody talking about Dylan?
Ryan could have 100-point season and be like, "Hey, aren't you Dylan Strom's brother?" It's like, God damn it!
It's like I kind of feel like that's Liam Hemsworth. Oh, you're Thor's brother.
It's like, God damn it!
I'm my own person too.
It's like I have an Academy Award. God damn it!
He actually does too, which is actually really funny. And then there's the other one, there's the third brother that nobody knows. That's Matthew Strom.
Yeah, and we have him in our organization. We've got the forgotten one, and we've got the
nobody knows about David Kosh, but everybody knows about Andre.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, David. It's that little. It's that. You want to go back? Let's go back a little further. It's like Brett Lindros and Eric Lindros. Nobody knows about Brett.
Well, now we do.
What was Wayne Gretzky's brother's name? Nobody knew about him. And that's exactly my point there. It might have been Brett. I feel like it was Brett.
I think it was Brett Gretzky. He actually, you know what? He did play for the Lightning, and I always actually wanted to get a Lightning jersey and put 99 on the back and see if anyone would be like, no, Gretzky played for him. Gretzky totally played for the Lightning, and have people just look it up and be like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Everybody always forgets about the brother that doesn't play as well. And Dylan's not even that good. Dylan's not that good. I thought he was better than he was. Dylan's okay. Don't get it twisted. He's still young, still got some room to grow, but everybody wants to forget about Ryan because of Dylan, and nobody knows about Matt. That's the Hemsworth brothers right there. I'm telling you.
Well, let's see. Benny's Nation saying Frank Stallone of the NHL. And Jesse saying hot chicks at Ferraris is probably the best negotiating strategy. I would agree. I would agree on that one. Prism, don't worry. We were talking about Corbin Knight. No one went anywhere. Maxim Sushko, that's next on the roster. I'd like to see Sushko a little bit more. We got a brief glimpse of him in a Flyers jersey last year, but that was because of COVID necessities, really. So I'd like to see him because it's not desperation. I'd like to see it because he's doing something really good on the Phantoms, and they bring him in. But let's see here. Nate Thompson, obviously, he's going to be on the team for face-off reasons. Now, here's one that's going to be interesting to look at, and that's Samu Taumala. Obviously, we've all been interested to see how he plays. Seems to be a good, solid goal scorer that the Flyers got in the second round of this past entry draft. So we'd like to see something from him this year. Next up on the roster is Knack. We don't really need to go into that. We know he's on the team.
I would like to see some good play, though, in camp. You know what I mean? Because he was one of the players that took a step back last year. So I'd like to see him come in now. get ready for the season, be strong on the puck like he was, in the pandemic shortened year, and just show what he can do on this level.
And yeah, I agree. I definitely agree on that one. Maze Nation, I'd like to get a better look at Zanetti. And let's see here, Connor Bunnerman. Bunnerman's an interesting player. We've seen him a little bit on the roster, but we'll see what he does moving forward. I haven't hated his play, but at the same time, his play hasn't necessarily registered. You know what I mean? He's just not knocking him, but yeah.
He's a warm body. He's a warm body. He can come in. He doesn't make the big mistake. You know what I mean? He plays just average to borderline, slightly below average hockey. But he comes in, he plays your fourth line, he eats up some minutes, when you're ding on a guy or two.
Yeah, true. Couturier, Coots, Farabee, Tyson Forster, obviously. Big chance for us to see more of him. So hopefully get to see a little bit from him in the preseason games and what have you. Morgan Frost, who has an opportunity to make a solid impression for everyone, since apparently there's a lot of people out there ready to trade him. And Claude Giroux, obviously, we don't need to worry about that. Hayes out 6 to 8 weeks because of the abdominal surgery, as we talked about. Travis Konechny, I'd actually like to see him show up in camp a little bit and put up maybe one or two decent games, and just, all right, good. He's getting that vibe going early. Hopefully he can carry that into the season and finally kind of have a rebound after just a real rough go of it last year and in the bubble.
Yeah. I mean, most of these names aren't unexpected off the roster. Obviously, we know who the pros are going to be in the training camp. So I'm more concerned about some of the younger guys, some of the more guys that are going to be actually competing for the spots. I would love to see Samu get an opportunity. I love the pick, to be honest with you, mainly because Finnish players know how to score.
True.
And he seems like the type of player that knows how to put the puck in the net. And it's a matter of just developing his game, and I think he's going to be I don't think he's going to be down there long if he's already on the camp roster. And I haven't heard anything bad coming out of any form of article, podcast, anything like that about the rookie tournament that took place. So, I mean, that could be a plus moving forward. That could be a bad thing moving forward, which means he's doing nothing. He could either be doing good things to the point where it's just kind of okay, let's see where his weak spots are and move forward from there, or be bad saying that he's not doing anything and he's just being unnoticeable. So I mean, it could go either way. But again, that's just me. That's just the things that I haven't heard yet. So I don't not necessarily sure which way to go with him. But I think he's going to be a great pick, and I think he's going to be a good. My projection for him is to be a good second line scorer for the Flyers.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully it falls into that situation right there. Then next up on the roster, we have Tanner Leschinski, Scott Lawton, Superman, Oscar Lindblom, Linus Sandin.
He's an interesting one. He's one that I think is going to be could get a little wild because he came from Europe. He came from the European leagues as a very, very prominent goal scorer. I would want to see if he maybe develops into one, and he's worth the contract that they gave him.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because of right now, I haven't heard anything.
Me neither. And he was in training camp last year, so hopefully he sees some more this year. Something good on this one.
I think he's in the final year of his contract too.
Yeah, so it's now or never.
He's got to do something.
Yeah, now or never for him. JVR, and then final one was Zayd Wisdom, but unfortunately out indefinitely with the shoulder injury, which sucks because I was looking forward to seeing him along with Samu and several of the other players like Forrester and what have you. But no, well, it is what it is. Get the surgery, come back strong.
Good thing about him is, he's young.
Yeah,
and he will come back strong. And there's a good, and he's got a place for him on the Phantoms waiting for him. So, Just because he misses camp doesn't necessarily mean he's going to miss his opportunity to get on the pro roster. If he has a hot first month in the FanUps, he can find his way up to the from Lehigh to Philly. So
maybe
you never know.
Yeah, maybe. And let's see here on the defensive side of the puck. We did talk about Sam Moran out 6 to 8 weeks on the knee. Justin Braun, we already know he'll be playing on the roster. Provy, would like to see Provy get a couple reps in, but I'd like to see Provy take. I know he's going to be working with Ellis, and I'd like to see him take even more steps forward on the leadership role. I was slightly disappointed last year at him. It wasn't really all his fault, really. It was the defense just in general was not playing well. He played well at times. It's just when you're in a whole minutia of shit going on, it's hard to survive that when you got like tidal waves of that coming at you. So, but I'd like to see a little bit more on the leadership side, on Provy's side of it. And I have no doubt he'll learn a lot of great stuff from Ellis. He learned a lot of great stuff from Niskanen. So I definitely think he'll learn a lot from Ellis moving forward. Travis Sanhein, we already know the talent Sanheim has. We'd like to see him rebound after a rough year last year as well. He had a couple of really good moments here or there. One of the best moments he had during the whole season was scoring that OT winner against Boston. That was probably the best. I'd say that was probably his best moment last year. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think so. That was definitely a highlight for me.
Yeah, because we finally beat Boston for once in that season.
Right. and to your point with Provy, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. You were going on to the next point, and I didn't want to backtrack you there, but I did want to jump in and say that when things were going bad last year, he kind of disappeared a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's not what good. You're the defensive leader on this team. You have to step up, and he'll learn that from these guys. I'd like to see him also maybe do like more work on the side with individual drills. You know what I mean? Kind of get better with like puck handling skills. Having that calmness, that coolness under pressure. I think you're going to get that from playing with Yandle. You know what I mean? And just sort of absorbing that through osmosis, so to speak. So, definitely some side drills and definitely pick up the leadership.
Absolutely. Yeah, so definitely want to see them progress and rebound in a big way. Next up, Wyatt Wiley, who was in last year's training camp. And yes, I said that name right. I would love to see him do well and make the team because I would absolutely love to see the guy named Wyatt Wiley on the Philadelphia Flyers. That just would be fucking awesome.
Wiley Coyote, man. Let's go. He's got to be a bruiser, man. He's got to be a bruiser, right?
That does. Yeah, that sounds like a guy from the 70s who was like an enforcer back in the day. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's got like Tony Twist kind of like aura to it right there. And then obviously Igor Zamula. We know Igor Zamula is definitely a big future good solid player. Like to see more of what he can do. We did get some glimpses of him last year, but I'd like to see him make some big impressions to where they bring him up on the team, not for desperation reasons or for we know we're not going to make it, so we're just going to throw the kids up and see what we got. I'd like to see him earn that on we're having a good year, but we like what Zamula's doing, and so we're going to bring him up and let's see what he can do on the roster, even if it's for 1 or 2 games. You know what I mean? Like to see the kid get some reps in.
Absolutely. I mean, 21-year-old, just developing, coming out of, Russia, certainly sometimes those guys take a little, especially on the defensive side and the goaltending side, they take a little more time to develop to the pro game here in the States. So, yeah, it'll definitely be a great experience for him.
Absolutely. Greg saying, my guys, what's up, boys? What's up, Greg? You missed it earlier. Benny and Prism are now in on the whole, taking you to Paris for Joel Farabee there, as as we were talking about early on the show. And he's saying, we close to puck time. Let's go. You're absolutely right, Greg. You're absolutely right. Can't wait.
I don't think Greg's aware of the Paris part, but I'm pretty sure he's still aware of the fact that, Priz would have to blow him or something like that if he hit 30 goals or 40 goals or something like that. I made a joke about going to Paris because of him and Benny doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
The joke is the high five because you make the Eiffel Tower over the person.
Yep.
That's the joke for Paris.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but
I
who knows,
gotcha.
man?
I didn't pick that up before. That's good.
Priz.
And then I would hashtag agree to the poll. I think Wade due to be a nice contributor this year. Gotcha. Pris saying what the fuck later on. Don just going,
Jesse, Don, and Priz were like, what? What's up, Pete?
Jesse saying the gang gets lots in Paris. Oh my god.
Sounds like an episode of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Pete saying, yo, fam, what's up, Pete?
Pete, what's good, my fam?
And let's see.
This comment's priceless.
And then Rob throwing in nobody wins there with the Eiffel Tower.
Nope, no, they don't. Nobody wins there whatsoever.
Don's losing it.
Because of what Chris said. You missed it.
Oh.
Good, you should be crying. Gotta get Rob to do a spit take here. It might work. It might happen.
I can't stop chuckling.
Oh, let's see. Here we go.
That's true. In that situation, there's no winners, only losers.
So from now on, the theme of the Hockey Happy Hour, every time that Pris and Benny comment on something, we have to play the French national anthem. But
you can't, unfortunate copyrights, so that kind of saves those two.
France is going to copyright us too. God damn it!
YouTube copyright. We can't play anything. You know that. You of all people, you were the head producer at one point, Maddie.
No, that's true.
Let's go. Oh, by the way, Rosca just chimed in, and he just completely reminded me. We got to talk about this real quick. Kachina jerseys for the Coyotes, going back to those jerseys.
Yes. I think I have to get an away one now that I have a home one. I have the Roenick home one. I got to get the away one.
Question is the away one.
Yeah.
I like the white ones better than the black ones.
What? Yeah, I would agree. What player should it be, though? Since most of them are shit. You know what, though?
You can go old school.
I could, but you know what I'm going to do? I'll get a Goss to spare one. Why not? We traded him. Yeah, I'll get the Goss to spare one.
Trade the guy for nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing in return.
I can't hate him for that, honestly. We needed to get rid of Goss to spare, so you know what? That's fine. He didn't have us take on any cap. All right, I'm perfectly fine with it. Looking back on everything,
I think the actual deal wound up being like a player to be named later or something along those lines. I forget though. Galchenyuk to the Coyotes on a professional tryout. I don't necessarily think he's not going to be like Matt Hoffman where he actually gets offered a contract. I think he gets cut.
Benny's saying now they can lose in style.
Hey, listen.
Profile.
Anaheim goes down as one of the best jerseys of all time. I truly, truly believe Coyotes have the best jerseys of all time with those Kachina jerseys.
I agree.
I could agree. Yeah.
When did Willie Garson die?
Oh, today, yeah.
Oh no! That's horrible. What did he die from?
I didn't say.
Oh, good. Keep it within the family. Good.
Yeah. What was it? He had to have been mid-50s. That makes me fucking nervous, man. I'm getting close.
Hopefully it's you know.
Is it fair that I'm hopeful for it every day?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I would
hope the Hockey would at least want to keep you going.
No.
Man, we're fucking failing at our job.
So I had my eyes wide open because I was like, you too?
Oh, okay. I got it.
What's the point? I've achieved everything I want to achieve in life, man. I had the threesome. I work in sports. You know, I've had $1 million at one point in my life. You know, I mean, what more do I want? I'm good. I've done good charity. I've helped people.
I'm gonna have to bring this back full circle. That threesome was Greg, fucking Benny's and Prism, wasn't it?
Wouldn't that make it a foursome?
No. Rob's just there.
This was way back in college, my friend.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Wait, Priz, what are you talking about? Keeping it within the family? What are you talking? I'm confused. I may have said something that I missed.
Incest is best. Can't keep it in your pants. Keep it in the family.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Jokes. It's just jokes, people.
I know.
We do not promote incest here at A2D Radio.
Yes. We don't promote that. No.
Oh, Jimmy, you showed up at the right time.
Yeah, always. Jesse was saying, let's do this back. Jesse was saying, I know we're all hoping for a big defensive turnaround, but do you think that this team will improve offensively from last year? Yeah, I think they will. I think they definitely will.
You see, Jimmy, unlike on the Flight Zone where you can catch him and Evan doing an amazing job every Monday night at 9:30, talking all things Philly sports and then some. Here at the Hockey Happy Hour, we don't always talk about hockey. We talk about some of the most fucked up shit that you can think of.
Happy
listen.
hour, baby.
Why? I blame him.
Well, I mean, you know, when you listen, when you have a ginger on the show, you have to understand there comes certain expectations because we are soulless bastards and we care not for anything. So
steal your soul.
So at the end of the day, as I'm sure evidence will show here, that at the end of the day, anything is on the table. So
Welcome, Paul.
I brought that on because Jimmy was not here for that.
I mean, it's all I really have on the table right now. By the way, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is Zack Snyder. And I got to watch this.
The Long Halloween
Part 2.
I read the graphic novel of that. Very, very good. Very good.
It's very good. I have to watch the first part again because it was a little difficult to follow.
Oh, okay. I wonder if they took it exactly because I know the Long Halloween kind of jumps a little bit. But anyway, all right.
Like, be real though. Like this, it's very, very long, and for those who haven't seen it yet, it's miles and miles better, million times better than that piece of shit that Josh Weldon, however you say his fucking name, the dude who put out my favorite Marvel movie, destroyed Justice League.
So my mom's yelling in the background, so the Phillies just tied up the game.
I was going to say they must be still losing to the Orioles, which they got shut out last night, and I'm still trying to figure out how they got shut out. Shut up, Rob.
Yeah. No.
I'm sorry. I thought you were laughing at the fact that Phillies got
After
shut
Dark
out by
Alabama edition.
No, man.
Oh my god, this one kid is going like, this kid is hilarious. This like little like 7 or 8 year old kid is like screaming. He's going, wow, the Phillies did something good. like, oh my god. That poor kid, he really must not see that happen often.
I mean, they're on a nice run. I mean, this is going to come down to the last week of the season. You just wanted to get within 2 or 3 games of the Braves coming in, and you're going to be facing off head-to-head for 3 of the last 9 games of the matchup. And, I mean, how can you be disappointed? Bryce Harper's having an MVP season right now. I think he will indeed win the National League MVP, no matter whether the Phillies make the playoffs or not.
And I completely agree. And you know what? I feel bad for the guy. And I got into an argument because apparently it's all about the contract with Bryce Harper. I don't feel bad for him for his $325 million. Dude is still a person. When they signed Bryce Harper, they made a promise to spend stupid money to make this team a playoff team. They've spent money in stupid places. They haven't spent stupid money. I hate it. They have done nothing to put a playoff team. And I don't blame Dave Dombrowski because he just started this year. This is his first full season as the Phillies president of operations. And Sam Folds is first as a GM. I don't blame any of these guys for the guys they brought in. we're still worried about the Matt Klentak guys. Guys like, why is Hector Neris still on this team? Has he played better? Yeah. But you know what? He's still too inconsistent for me. Ian Kennedy, at the time, I thought it was a great trade. The dude gives up at least one home run an outing.
Yeah.
They have done nothing, and I mean nothing, to make this team better. They're stuck in mediocrity. It doesn't matter who you bring in as a manager. With the team the way it is now, it's the Flyers all over again, except for the Phillies. They're stuck in mediocrity. You have a superstar in Bryce Harper, and you're going to waste him for 13 years because you don't know how to build a fucking team.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Sorry, Fritz. I had to get that out. There. But the guys are more worried about his contract than actually having a team around them. I don't feel bad for him. He makes $325 million. That's not why I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because he's the only one in the lineup that's consistently producing.
Although, on a funny note, Don saying that Skull has more hair than Tom.
I can't talk there, my friend.
I'm leaving my hat on.
Fresh shave today, too, man.
I won't be able to talk for much longer. But anyway, Jimmy also saying, I'm down to hear some fucked up shit. No worries, and I'm used to gingers, and one damn near ruined my life. Well, not me. So I will plead. I am not guilty of that life being ruined. Anyway.
Jimmy, we're all about that here, man. You're welcome to jump aboard, hop on with us anytime, man. We love to fuck around, talk about anything there,
Yeah, send us the link. Jimmy, come on now with us. What are you doing?
It's a good point. Actually, if you are not busy, feel free to jump on in. Mm-hmm. And Will's saying, "What's up, my boys? What's up, Wills?
What up, Wills? Willie Vegas."
And you want to hear someone say some fucked up shit? Check out Wills on Sundays.
Yeah.
You will hear some fucked up shit.
Also, if you're an A2D member, you can also check out Willie Vegas. He gives you little videos here and there, letting you know who to pick, who to take. So it's $9.99 a month. You get all kinds of perks. You can jump on with us, shout outs, all kinds of great stuff. Nate Money from the Money Pop Podcast every Sunday morning will give you some videos too on how to win some money. So yeah, you might be spending $9.99 a month to be an A2G member, but between Willie Vegas and Nate Money Moss, you're gonna win that money back and then some.
Absolutely.
So that $9.99 a month to be an A2G member is well worth it. And I agree with you, Benny. It is between him and Segura.
And also adding on to the comment of what Prism was saying of putting Brian in the box, we'll have offsetting minors. 2 minutes for Bri and myself, because I'm the idiot who opened up the can of worms. So
actually, technically, it was both of you. However, that's supposed to work.
I'm the disciplined hockey player in this equation. How the fuck did that happen?
Apparently. It's a cold day in hell, apparently.
Hey, I just know.
I'm the guy that puts thumbtacks in his hockey gloves for face washing. True story.
Hey, listen, that's called the Philadelphia welcome in hockey. Hey, Hatcher knocked out Crosby's tooth, so there you go.
Who's Joel and Bibb?
Joel and Bibb. Oh my god, that is great.
Who did he play for? Joel and Bibb.
I don't know.
Joel and Bibb.
I think I bought a Slurpee off that guy.
I think he plays for the Philadelphia 69ers, but I'm not sure.
Oh, he must be on the Delaware team. Okay.
Yeah, the minor league.
I got you. All right. Yeah, he's on the D League team. Yeah. I'm with you. No, that's awesome, Don. That's no, you don't. Of course he won. He's a Detroit guy.
Damian Hernandez, I haven't seen him in forever, saying, "Goddamn, you're brutal."
Hey, listen, they're just as brutal to us, and you know what? It's a give and take relationship.
That is true. We love it.
You love it.
And Benny's saying, "I thought Tommy said these jerseys were authentic."
It's that $35 China cheap shit that they get.
Don't ask questions. You don't want answers. Just don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
No, it's too late. Ben Simmons already ruined us. Ted, yes, I am. That ain't never going to change, brother. That ain't never going to change, fam.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
All right, so let's see here.
I'm just saying I love all you guys. This is all out of good, clean fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So swing it back here. We left off on Igor Zamula on the defensive side on that roster. Swinging back to Adam Glendening, another late signing there. Logan Day. Ryan Ellis, obviously, we know that. Linus Hogberg, who did we get him in a trade? I have a weird feeling we did, but I could. Did we get Hogberg in one of the trades this offseason?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Something tells me we did, but I could be wrong on that.
I mean, you're probably right. I'll be honest with you. I this is the first time I'm actually ever hearing his name.
Yeah. Let's see. Mason Millman, Rasmus Ristolainen. Definitely going to have a microscope on him from the beginning of the season moving forward because of that trade.
Priz, I'm not going to lie, dude. I know I bring it on myself. It's all good. Dude, this is entertainment. The point is to be entertaining. Yeah, we talk about hockey, but we bust on each other too. We bust on you guys as well. You bust on us. It's a lot of fun. We love you guys. It's what families do.
True.
Are you not entertained?
If you're not, then please go see a therapist. But and maybe if you are entertained, go see a therapist anyway. But Ted saying, how did Sam Moran get drafted? He's always injured. Unfortunately, unable to foresee the future, sadly, on that side of it. But I
mean, it's true though. He's always hurt every year, and I feel for the kid because he's got that potential.
But it's the one body area. You know, he hurt it real bad once, the MCL, and it just never got structurally, sound again. You know what I mean? So it's easy to see how it happened, but yeah, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah. Well,
no,
that's a requirement to get drafted in Philadelphia, Ted.
No, that's unfortunately true with what Jimmy said. But with Sam Moran, man, he was projected. He was drafted pretty high too, if I remember correctly, and he was projected to be a number 2. He was projected to be a top pairing guy, and he was being compared to Chris Pronger, who we were talking about earlier. And he just that one knee injury, and it was all over for the kid. And I feel like it's always that same knee.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was drafted in the teens too in the first round, so decently high.
Ted.
And Tim says Sam Moran makes Wentz look like Cal Ripken Jr.
Wow.
Not exactly wrong though.
Now I don't know if Eagles fans have any.
Missed quite a bit of time in his. I think he's had 2 full seasons in his career. And
so
he's probably not looking good for week 3 for the Colts right now.
Yeah.
I mean, people wonder how he was drafted, though. How do you turn away from a 6'7", 230-pound defenseman? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you have the makings to be one of the good ones.
Damn it! I thought Ritz and Butters only needed therapy. Guess I was wrong. But I'm the one responsible for them having to get therapy. By the way, if you've ever seen a show with me on it, I torture Ritz to no fucking end. It amuses me.
I think it's great because Andy and Butters do a great job. They very informative on their wrestling chat, and they do a great job of going back and forth. And Andy's usually the one that's taking the stick and doing the job. And
then it gets reversed on him when me and Chrome are on the show.
I love when the 4 of you guys are together. It's full out. It's a brawl.
The funny part is
between the 4 of you guys. It's great.
The best part is me and Chrome don't game plan. It just happens. It is just organically out of nowhere. Chrome will say something and all right, time to piggyback. Let's go.
Jake. Get him. Going after Priz, saying he's the only one that needs therapy. Let him know. All right, Priz, I love you, buddy.
Ted's saying 3 full reasons. But, and then anyway.
Wait, you got the 3rd full season in there? I don't remember the 3rd full one, but
But let's see here. Continuing forward, Ethan Sampson, Nick Seller, Quinn Schmeinman.
Sounds like a made-up name.
Yeah, it's Schmiemann. Schmiemann. I think that's how you or Schmiemann. It's German. That's why I roll with Schmiemann. If you're gonna go German, you have to sound angry when you say it. So let's see here. So let's see here. Next up, we've got Jackson Vandalist, which I actually like that name. I hope he has a good run. I like to see that name on the team too, Vandalist. But anyway,
real quick, Ted, he's dealing with some stuff with the family. He took a little bit of a hiatus. He'll be back though.
Yeah. And continuing thoughts and prayers onto that. But Keith Yandle, obviously, we know that. Cam York, we talked about him earlier. We do expect good things from him. Brian Zanetti, who's making an early good impression, starting things off. And, hopefully we can see more from Zanetti as we move forward.
One thing I haven't said during this whole process, because I've just been analytical about, how this team was getting better. I am, as a fan, very excited to see Keith Yandle wear a Flyers jersey. I mean, that's this team has had some quality players throughout, like whether it be early on in their career, mostly a lot of guys later on in their career. You were excited to see Yager wear a Flyers jersey, Paul Coffey at one point. I mean, not the greatest example there, but that's what kind of this Keith Yandle thing reminds me of a little bit, just a lot less of a contract. But Yandle's always been a player that I've been a fan of, and it's going to be great rooting for him in the orange and black.
Absolutely, I am excited to see
feel
it.
you, man. I'm the same way with Ryan Ellis. Like I'm excited to see him in a Flyers uniform because Lord knows I had to watch him for years, just completely brutalize Anaheim.
Sure.
And now I'm only going to have to watch him brutalize Anaheim twice a year.
I'm actually excited for Cam Atkinson only because he wore a gritty shirt right after he found out he got traded and he was all pumped and everything. I'm like, all right, Atkinson's excited to come to Philly. Good. I love it. I love it when I see a player ready to come to Philly.
Funny story. True story. That shirt was actually his wife's.
Oh my God, that is great. That's even better.
And then when Cam came in to do his introduction, Gritty was waiting for him in the locker room with his jersey, with a Cam Atkinson t-shirt on, with just the Cam Atkinson head. And I thought that was pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. That is great. Yes. Okay, Atkinson better be one of the best players the Flyers ever had because that is just great hype right there for him already.
I'm that close to getting a Cam Atkinson jersey. That close. Yeah. Just because of his personality.
Yeah.
And let's see here. The final player that I had on the roster for the defense was Zach Cooper, who unfortunately was out 6 to 8 weeks with an upper body. So sorry for the kid there. Goalies, Carter Hart. I don't think we need to discuss what Carter Hart's going to do. He's going to have one hell of a year. And Felix Sandstrom, be interested to see what he does in training camp. Martin Jones, I would expect to see him get a little bit of some time in there, along with Hart probably. Other goaltenders that are there, Kyrel Ustimenko. I would like to see Ustimenko have an opportunity to show off a little bit. And then there's one more goalie in Samuel Urson. So that is the training camp roster.
The thing I like about this situation heading into camp with the goaltenders is that the Flyers right now are sitting on outside of. I mean, you can even throw him into the mix. They're sitting on 4 guys who could be starters in the NHL. I mean, Marty Jones isn't the guy he was when he first came up with San Jose, but he still could be a starter in this league, I think, with the right team. Obviously, Carter Hart's a starter, but he still has a couple question marks that he has to answer this year. And then Felix Sandstrom turned 25, so he's starting to hit his prime. Could potentially be a number 1. I think Ustimenko has the potential to be a number 1 somewhere. So the Flyers, I think, right now are pretty stacked in goaltending. And Jesse, I know he's had a rough couple years in San Jose, but San Jose's also been on a massive decline.
Oh yeah, big time.
So, like I said, I think in the right setting, I think Marty Jones could be a starter again. but I think he needs to take a step back, take this season, this contract with the Flyers, kind of reset. And if he plays well enough, which I think he will, in the right setting, I think he can get a starting job again. Because it's
That's true.
You just don't. He's not old enough to really just have his abilities to start declining because of age or anything like that. I think he's just taking the brunt of a bad situation in San Jose, which was a team that just needs to be rebuilt. And I think getting the fresh start in Philly is going to help with that.
Yeah. And Jesse's saying I wanted Sandstrom. And then he booed Martin. I will say this, though, for Martin Jones, and this is actually a good perspective that I didn't think about, actually, until you just said that, Brian. This is a chance for him to prove, that he could be still a starter. That could be beneficial for us in the long run because, yeah, Carter Hart's our starter moving forward. But that means that when we put Jones in, he might snag us some wins, too, that we don't expect to come out of nowhere. And that could even make us even better. So it's just like, hey, if he wants to take this opportunity to go find a job with another team next season, I'm all for it. It's like, hey, you want to prove that you can handle a starting role still and be a solid backup for Hart to the point where you're snagging some good games? I'm like, I ain't complaining. I ain't fucking complaining at all on our side.
With the condensed scheduled Olympics, I expect the backup to see 25 to 30 starts. You know what I mean? You need a starting caliber goaltender, especially this year. So I think that'll be helpful. I'm kind of with Jesse. I kind of wanted the two kids together. You know what I mean? But it is good to have a little bit of veteran leadership there. Maddie, I wanted to ask you, during your list, did you mention Jackson Cates?
I did. I mentioned him earlier.
Okay. Oh, okay. I must have missed it then, maybe when I was away, because he's the biggest player that I'm excited about seeing. I mean, I know his brother, Noah, is a little more talented, and he's finishing off his college career for UMD. So he'll be a little further on the horizon. But both of these kids are great. I think he's a guy that, could be a really good contributor, kind of like a la, like bringing up a Connor Bunnerman or a Twinski, you know what I mean? Jackson Cates brings a lot of energy to his game.
Yeah, and I liked seeing him. I liked his game in those few games he had at the end of the season last year. I remember him playing against the Devils last year towards the end of the year, and he looked good in those games. And they were Flyers losses, a few of them, but he still looked good in them. So I was like, all right, I like this kid. He's got some fire in him. He's got some ability. I'd like to see a little bit more. I'd like to see a bigger sample size and a better opportunity for him than just being, okay, we're going to see what we got,
Yeah, for sure. And as for going back to the goaltending with Marty Jones is, you bring in the veteran leadership, which is very important. I mean, I personally, I'm between Upov and Jesse, I'm with you. I wanted Sandstrom. But I also would have been okay with Brian Elliott coming back for another year. Just because of the chemistry between the two, the relationship between Moose and Carter. To me, that is irreplaceable. So now he's got to start all over with another goaltender. Now, to your point, with the condensed schedule, with the Olympics, you're probably going to see the backup more. Again, could be beneficial to Carter for playing a little bit less games, being able to rest a little bit more and kind of reset the mind, reset the wheels, and kind of rest up a little bit. And could be beneficial for Marty, because if he does play better and has some better numbers, who's to say Marty doesn't get traded at the deadline? Who's to say that he doesn't get traded before, during the draft, whatever, There's so many different ways this can go, and I think the Flyers right now with their goaltending they're in a good situation, because if they do move on from Marty, say he plays well enough, he gets traded. Let's say he goes to, since Jesse's brought him up a couple times, let's say he gets traded to Colorado. Flyers are in a situation where they can bring up Felix Sandstrom and be okay, because Sandstrom does have the ability to be a number one. Is he going to be a franchise changer? Probably not, but he's good enough to be a number one somewhere. And he's about to enter his prime. So that's huge for the Flyers. I mean, the Tampa Bay Lightning brought up Vasilevsky at 24. And now look at them. It's probably a bad comparison, but I'm just saying you never know what you really have until they get to the big league level.
So, I mean, honestly, the whole situation with it, I'd like to see Sandstrom. I would. The problem is, though, is that, you run into the issue of, well, what happens with Carter Hart having a really good season and everything? Then you get the situation of, well, what does that mean for Sandstrom? It's one of those, it's a good problem to have, but you're in that spot of, boy, Hart has a very strong year next year and everything. It's like, oh, boy, not good for Sandstrom. Really not good for him, in the long run. But
yes and no, though, because the NHL is changing much like the NFL is changing, where you don't have that one lead back anymore. You know what I mean? You have a pair, you have tandems, and maybe it's not as staunch as it is in that example, but I mean, it's there where you could have a guy develop and continue to develop and play well and build notoriety for himself, playing behind Carter Hart there and them working as, quote unquote tandem. And maybe it leads to, okay, well, assuming Carter does, become that franchise generational goaltender, then you dish off Sandstrom to another team looking for a goaltender like a la Avalanche in the future and bring back a good haul for him. It's a good problem to have.
No, it absolutely is. And then to that point, I agree. But on the tandems, yeah, they're turning the goalie tandems in the NHL. And like you said, Rob, similar to the NFL, it's running backs or tandems now. But the thing is, like, if you still think about it, think about the teams that have won the Stanley Cup over the last few years, and unfortunately I have to include Tampa in this. They all have franchise goaltenders.
Yeah.
So you still need to be able to have that undoubted, undisputed number one guy that you're going to run through the playoffs with. But during the season, yeah, have a guy play 30, 35 games, but you still got to have your undisputed number one guy.
Yeah, true. And for Ted saying, did the Buffalo Sabres become like Washington football team? They're awesome for years, new in the thick of it, new owner, the team goes into the toilet. Pretty much the Sabres haven't been relevant in a decade, and the Washington football team, though, did make the playoffs. So
they won the division last year.
Yeah. So I heard that they're going to officially have a mascot come next season. I kind of hope they don't. I'd love to see them just keep it as the Washington football team, just so that everybody could just be like, what the fuck? Just because like that's the kind of organization that it is. So, might as well.
They actually have 8 names that they're voting on soon for the Washington football team as their new team name.
Boo! Keep it WFT, man. I'm with you, man, because it's like the Canadians, you know what I mean? The hockey club, you know what I mean? Like the hockey club, you know what I mean? It's just different because everybody has that name, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's good to have a variety by going generic. Like, it's weird. It's kind of hypocritical, but I don't know. I like how Jeff Mans calls them Washington potatoes.
Watch them call themselves the Washington Schneiders, and then everybody loses their fucking mind.
Better than the Red Hogs.
That's actually one of the names I believe that they're voting on.
Yeah.
The Red Hogs. Actually, you know what? Okay,
I think is another one. There's a couple really bad ones. Actually, most of them are bad. The only one that I liked, and I would still alter the name a little bit, is the Red Wolves. And I would just take the red out and I'll be like, the Washington Wolves. I think that's pretty badass. And then you have so many ways to go with the logo on that.
I hope they don't, because I want the team to suck and I want the team to be shitty and I want the team to be still irrelevant and everybody laughing at them. So I hope they don't win that one.
They're missing a golden opportunity, though, right now. I take back the whole football team stance. This is what their team name should be. They should be the Washington Sentinels.
Interesting.
Like from the movie The Replacements.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, I see what you did there. I'm following you now. Okay. That has nothing to do with the movie. It has everything to do with. Never mind.
But Jesse's
With the
saying
original
Washington,
argument of the name in general.
the Washington Wieners or Winers.
Wiener!
Ben is Nation saying Red Hawks and the Red Wolves, and then Prism
Ooh, I
saying
like
Washington Lewinsky's. That'll never get old. Oh my god! I mean, I've heard that she actually now does speaking tours on that, and she actually makes fun of herself. So hey, she bounced back very well from her public shaming. So you know what? I'd give that one to Monica. Good on you. But anyway,
Yeah, they're doing a special on that whole scandal now on FX or something like that.
Yeah, was it True Crime Story?
Something like that. Yeah. But I still think the Wolves would be like their best option because there's so many different ways to go with the logo. You can make a really badass like Wolf logo. You can still be a shitty team, a shitty organization, and the laughing stock, the NFL, but still have a really badass logo and sit there and be like, well, last place finished, but we have the best logo in the NFL.
They'd be like the ESU Timberwolves.
Yes. Yes. I mean, the Timberwolves, Minnesota Timberwolves actually, they have a pretty badass logo too. So,
yeah.
Prism's comment was
women
funny,
and
but
children go hunting for fucking dinner.
Benny's Nation, how is she able to talk with her mouth full?
This is getting too political. I don't know if I like this.
I don't think there's anything political about that.
Let's be real. She was never not really that unattractive to begin with.
That's a good point.
Even back when the scandal happened. She was always a fairly attractive woman. Oh. I haven't seen her lately, but to
be honest,
I'm getting too far into this. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
And you're talking about Bill Clinton at the time, man. I mean, that's a huge score. I mean, you know what I mean? You're talking about an older married guy. Like that, you can't look at it through the eyes of us. You know what I mean? You know, like we're looking for that Hassie Harrison over here, right? But to him, that's like filet mignon right there. And if he did go with the Washington Lewinsky's, you could just have like a little like shirt collar with a cum stain. That would be the logo.
It's Prism saying, what scandal? Dude got topped off like a boss. He just happened to be married and the president. Minor details.
Minor details?
It's semantics.
Nah, you do have to be better than that. You have to lead by example, moralistic. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if people are going to have a problem with Trump in that area, then you have to have a problem with Clinton in that area as well. Just to be fair, just to split it down the middle, no matter what party you support.
Good point. And Jesse's saying before Khalifa, there was Lewinsky. I think that says it all right there. Too bad that too bad DB isn't here.
Right.
Could you imagine what he would have said?
It ruins it for everybody, man. Big talking today was Ben Simmons, man. Ben Simmons hasn't been right since he went out with Kyle Jenner. And I said in the comments before for the A2D post, I was like, you know, Tom was laying out the P word, calling him a pussy, right? I'm like, you know, when you eat enough of Kendall Jenner, you know what I mean? You're going to become one, you know what I
mean? Softy. But yeah, I absolutely agree with Jesse. He's a crumb. Get him out of here. I'm over him. Let's go. Just get like a 6-pack of Gatorade for him or something. Like, I don't care. Just get him out of Philly.
Tommy said it perfectly. He's a spoiled rich kid. That's what he is. He wants to take his ball and not shoot and go home. He said it perfectly.
Yeah. He got his – and this is why I don't like, you know – and this is part of the reason why I kind of like the NHL to an extent. You know, the contracts that they deal with aren't as high as any other sport. He could be 23 years old and be making $250 million over the X amount of years at 23 years old. No kid should be making that kind of money.
Right.
Because they don't know how to responsibly handle it.
Right.
Now, there are situations where there are guys who know how to handle it and are a little bit more mature. NHL, I mean, they deal with a lower cap anyway, so you're not really seeing guys get the $100 million contracts, the $250 million contracts. You've seen most average players at 23, 24 probably making around 3 to 4 or 4.5. If you're really good, probably 5. $1 million a year. And I think that's relatively okay for a professional athlete at 23 years old to be making.
Or getting signed for 5 years and $45 million to stay in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Segue.
Nice.
You see, this is why I love doing the show. We're a well-oiled machine. Rob knew exactly where I was heading with this.
Absolutely. All
Or he
right,
just
so
took a really lucky
gentlemen,
guess. We'll let you guys decide.
now that we have gone through the Flyers training camp roster, time to dive into the big news that hit the airwaves of the NHL and the news feeds. Mr. Kyrel Capricev, finally, he resisted the temptation of the hot chicks and the Ferraris, surprisingly, and he has officially signed with the Minnesota Wild, staying in the town that he made famous.
He made Minnesota famous?
At least last season he did.
So I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that was...
Prince made Minnesota famous.
There you
Say,
go.
yeah.
There it is.
Come on. Can't ever do nothing on this fucking show. Anyway, all right.
Be right. Be right. If it
right.
wasn't for Prince, Minnesota wouldn't know anything. Nobody would know of Minnesota. Minnesota would not exist
They
anymore.
don't even have a Stanley Cup.
Puckett,
How the
too.
fuck do they know what they're doing? They're a freaking hockey capital of the U.S. and they don't have a fucking cup. That's pretty bad. Gotta call like you said. That's pretty fucking bad.
And Prince is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What do you want?
Well, okay, yeah, but I mean that's music.
My point. That's
not sport.
It's not sport. Yeah, Kirby Puckett's another one. I loved Kirby Puckett growing up. He was my favorite.
Kaprizov,
One of
man, my
players.
boy, Ted. He's my boy. He's my brother from another mother. You know what I mean? Like slowly turning Minnesota into my West Coast team. That might be the next. I've never actually had another team's jersey, and if there's one that I would consider, it might be his.
Come on, Rob. You know you want to do it. Trevor
It's not.
Zegras.
Ooh,
Trevor Zegras, Jamie Drysdale, Jacob Perreault, who you wanted for the Flyers.
Yeah,
I already got-
We got selling points. We got selling points now.
Yeah, I could be bought. I mean, I'm not going to shy
could
away
be
from
bought.
that.
I am not above bribery, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll buy you. You damn right I'll buy you.
And then,
That's not
Ted
terrible,
saying-
but
And-
you know
But
what
Ted
I
does
mean.
bring up a good point, though. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is pretty damn fickle. They are. They are. But anyway, Jesse's saying, real quick, did you guys ever get in those body check jerseys? I don't know. I actually was not privy to those conversations. I don't know why. I just wasn't.
I think we did.
That's a good question. I personally never got it.
Good question. I'm not sure, Jesse.
Riley.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, Jess. Not sure.
Well, damn Tommy, he'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, Tommy will take care of you too. I mean, I could always reach out to Riley too. Hopefully, he can get a.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy's probably the best one to go to. He can get in direct contact with Riley. I'm sure he has ways.
Yeah. Person saying America has Fords and a Greg. The Ferraris wasn't enough to throw Kyrel. Oh, let's see.
I don't know if I want Greg. I'll take the Ford, but
if you pick Minnesota, enjoy losing in the most agonizing way. It's pretty hilarious.
yeah, but it's the state of hockey. It's the state of hockey. I mean, the Minnesota Wild. You can honestly sit here and say that they've been a decent organization. Made the playoffs a bunch of times.
They have won their division. It's just a shame that every time it seemed like they would make the playoffs, they would go cold in the playoffs, and they couldn't get through it. And they had Bruce Boudreau as their coach. Not a smart move.
Well, I mean, Bruce Boudreau was always he was always a great regular season coach, and come playoff time, game sevens, he couldn't do it. They've brought in plenty of free agents, plenty of big name guys throughout their existence, and it's just kind of is. They've just been very unfortunate. That's all.
All right, we'll reach out to Riley then.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do for you, Jesse.
Definitely.
But
yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
With Kyrel, I think it was important not to let your Calder Trophy winning guy walk. I think you had to get it. I mean, negotiations were slow as of a week ago. And I did not think this was going to get done, with camp right on the horizon at that time. And now it has begun. But, they got the deal. I think it worked out well for both sides. Capricev, I got a good quote here from when he won the Calder Trophy. He goes, "I've enjoyed everything about the game. I enjoyed the atmosphere in the locker room. I enjoyed playing on the ice with my teammates. I enjoyed the playoff atmosphere, the different rinks we played in. The organization was amazing. I really enjoyed everything from my play on the ice to the team game. Everything this season kind of came together. It was truly special." So that right there told me he wanted to stay too. You know what I mean? As much as there was talk, you got to, the ownership didn't hate on him. They're like, this is your time to maximize. I respect that. You know what I mean? You got to see, what's going to be your best offer and what's the best situation for you. But them locking up this 24-year-old, I think is huge. I really think that they're going to be a strong contender now in the Western Conference.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree with you, Rob. It was absolutely one of those things where they had to get this deal done. Coming off, like you said, colder year, hands down, too, in my opinion. I don't think anybody was better than him in the rookie season. He made that team better, and he made the players on his line better. And you can't let that go. You cannot let that go. This organization's headed in a good direction with a lot of the players that they have. They brought in a guy like Marco Rossi in the draft, and he's going to be a huge player for them in the future. And you finally get Ryan Sutter off the books, you get Zach Parise off the books, so that frees up money to go after more free agents moving forward and be able to get some of these younger guys that are going to be bigger assets to this team than Sutter and Parise, get them the money they deserve as well. And it's just going to keep the organization relevant.
Or just give this man his money.
Yeah.
Like Teddy KGB said, give this man his money. And that's what they did. The shittiest Russian accent you'll ever hear.
And let's be real, 5 years for $45 million. That's not a terrible contract.
No.
I will say this, Billy Guerin, he wasn't only a good player, he seems to be a pretty damn solid GM too on that side as well.
See.
24, he's starting his prime. You're giving him $9 million a year for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
If you are a Minnesota fan, well, you might have yourself a pretty darn good season ahead of you like you did last year. And this time, though, won't be a surprise because I don't think anyone expected Minnesota to do what they did last year. This year, however, we are expecting something from you, and that's usually when things go a little haywire. Just ask Vegas. Once you get expectations thrown on you, then it's a little hard. Just a little bit. But anyway, let's see, Jesse saying that would be detrimental to that fan base. That would be like the Bills losing Josh Allen.
Right now, yeah. No, absolutely. Like, he's a major star for this team, and if he can repeat the numbers that he put up last year or even start to really climb those numbers, build those numbers up, Minnesota's going to be an extremely dangerous team. They just need a goaltender. I like Cam Talbot, but I don't think he's the guy. He's the guy for now, not the guy for the future, but he's the guy for now.
Agreed.
And saying literally in comparing sports, the Knights are the exact same team as the Green Bay Packers. Well, I have nothing to say on that. I don't follow football.
I'm trying to think.
I can't see the comparison, but I get it, I guess,
Who am I apologizing to?
I don't know. Prism knows
J-Ro?
who.
Although I will say Aaron Rodgers these days is looking like Bobby De Niro from Cape Fear.
Yes,
it's for real.
Yes, he is.
And people are making
movie.
fun of all the memes that were put out that we put out that Tom Brady's 7 years older than him, but looks like 20 years younger than him. When Aaron Rodgers was drafted, I wasn't familiar with him actually, and I'm like, who's that old guy they got backing up Brett Favre over there? He looked old when he was drafted, dude. He's got that. You walk into the dive bar and you see a guy sitting at the end of the bar look. You know what I mean? That's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh no, absolutely, especially with his hair pulled back, like it's
Yeah, exactly.
I do
can
remember.
absolutely see it.
I
By the way,
remember-
Child's Play.
I got you now.
Yeah, he's saying with the Packers. Yeah. But I was going to – oh, and this is what he was talking about, Prism. Said that there was a 2-month span where J-Ro was only behind McDavid.
But I'm trying to figure out who the hell J-Ro is.
But, so – Benny's nation. He's got the Brian Elliott look.
Oh, Jason Robertson. Okay, I got you. I'm following.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna. I spaced on his name before for you, Priz, when we were talking about in terms of his competition for the Calder. I mean, to me, it was no contest. But I was sort of joking around at that point. I mean, he had a fine season himself.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, then. So, yeah, Kyrel Capricev officially under contract with the Minnesota Wild. Great news for the Minnesota fans of the world. Bad news for anyone who's got to deal with them in the Central Division, which is getting even more stacked every day we speak. So, yeah, the West has their Metro, and it's called the Central Division.
Well, here's the thing. Like we were talking about before with the Central Division, Minnesota's expectations were going to be based off of if they can get this deal done. They got the deal done. And it's probably a little bit more than I expected, to be completely honest with you. I actually thought they could get a deal done with like 6.5. Probably about the same length, 5 years, 6.5 mil, I think would have been good. But they got the deal done. That was the important part. He's going to be a key piece for this team's success moving forward, and he's going to be a key piece in the nucleus of this team moving forward as well. So it's awesome. It's awesome for them. It's bad for anybody who has to play him. And I'll be honest with you, I love the idea of getting to watch this kid for at least the next 5 years. He's very, very fun to watch. Even if you're not a fan of the Wild, you enjoy watching this kid.
Yeah, absolutely. And Prism saying only 7 forwards with at least 500 minutes in 5v5 have fewer expected goals against every 20 minutes than Robertson's, 0.61. Kaprizov ranks 145th with 0.85 expected goals against for 20. I'm a Flyers fan, man. I don't follow analytics. So
That's,
no one cares, Priz. No one cares. No.
That's a little too analytical for me. I'm not saying I don't care, because I do care, Priz, because you know what, you're my fam, and I appreciate you. So I do appreciate it. But I don't call for all this analytical shit.
I will say this though, analytics are a useful tool, by the way. But I feel like there are certain things that you should consider beyond analytics. Sometimes they don't tell you the humanistic side of things. They just tell you the numbers.
Ooh, Damien was a little bit of a shot at the Sixers. That's almost what it was like, though. I mean, it's not that he didn't want to play for Minnesota. It's he wanted to get the most money possible. And if Minnesota wasn't going to give him the money, he said, yeah, I'll go to the KHL and play.
Yeah, true. All right, then. So, gents, that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We thank everyone for joining us once again. And next week, folks, we will have some, I believe by then, are we going to have some preseason games? Let me double check my calendar here because I got everything in there. Hold on a sec.
I believe so. I think they start tomorrow. I believe they start tomorrow, the 22nd.
So we'll have some stuff to talk about next week in terms of games, get some impressions on what's going on in the preseason, and see how some of those prospects that we listed off today, let's see if any of them stand out. Hopefully more than a few, showing that we still have some really good talent sitting in the pipeline, as we know we do. We just like to see them show up and show us something. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you once again for joining us here live on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Sensuti, along with the Darkwing Brian Daly and the Broken One Rob Povia. We were brought to you by our show sponsor, Body Check Wellness, but we also have other sponsors. And other sponsors like Ocean City Grilled Cheese and Quesadilla Company, located at the corner of 8th and Ocean Ave. 16 different kinds of grilled cheese on toasty Texas sourdough bread, and you could use the promo code A2D for 10% off of your order. Listen, man, every once in a while you go down to the shore, you want to get something to eat, and you want to enjoy the beach. That's the place you want to go to at the end of the day.
That place is awesome. I'm telling you, you have to get there before the shore closes for the winter. Amazing grilled cheeses there. Quesadillas aren't bad either. I'm more of a grilled cheese guy than a quesadilla guy, though. Actually, am I? I don't know. I don't know. I'm coming up in October, so I'll have to find out.
It's like that Subway commercial guy where he's debating on having a panini instead of a hoagie. But anyway,
I love a panini. I haven't had dinner yet. Can we stop talking about food?
Sure. After you're done eating your Ocean City grilled cheese and quesadilla, you could go to All Campus OC right after that, because they've got 20% off of everything in their store, including hats, shirts, and team cornhole sets for all of our subscribers here. So get all subscribed up. And also, wear your team colors with pride. John Coyle runs an awesome store down there. He has the ramp booth going on. Trust me, guys, you want to check out All Campus OC. Yeah, definitely check them out.
Oh yeah, John's great, dude. Like Maddie said, does a ramp booth every Saturday with Billy Schwein from ESPN Radio. So if you're ever down there on a Saturday afternoon, go have yourself a grilled cheese. Go have yourself a quesadilla. Walk it off. Walk on down a couple blocks down to All Campus OC. And let John Coyle take care of you.
All right then. And if you like the show tonight, hopefully, thank you if you do. And if you want to support us and you want to support A2D Radio, Brian, where can they go to do just that?
Oh, you head over to FillyDrinkers.com. That's a no-brainer. We got all kinds of great A2D merch there. We got tons of T-shirts. Remember President Trump? Remember when he said, only bad things happen in Philadelphia? You get that shirt there. You get the shirt that Robbie's wearing. You get the hat that Robbie's wearing. All kinds of great stuff there. Mugs. I got mugs. Actually, when I'm up in Jersey, I have to remember to grab my HUD mug because now that I'm thinking about it, I left it up at home. Hoodies, zip-ups. It's getting cooler out. Beanies, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, rain jackets, all kinds of great stuff. That's PhillyDrinkers.com. Philly Drinkers LLC, Alex Einhorn, owner, will take good care of you as I get my wire caught on my finger.
Einhorn. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Einhorn is Finkel.
Einhorn is the man, and he's the man to see for Philly drinkers. See what I did there? Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
And I got to tell you real quick, the quality of the stuff that Alex puts out as far as these T-shirts and stuff goes, second to none.
So
great
durable.
fitting stuff. Yeah. It is durable, and it fits really well to your body.
Yeah.
No, that's no joke. I mean, my washing machine tears up clothes, and man, you know, especially this shirt right here, man, so super durable. But all the products there, man, definitely.
Oh yeah,
nice.
They got something for everybody there. So,
see, we lead you to quality products right there. We ain't gonna steer you wrong.
I wear this shirt all the time. I legitimately beat it to death. This shirt's on me at least once a week, and look how it's holding up. It holds up really good. Like I said, Alex does a great job. Next one.
All right, so we had earlier on, we talked to you about the Money Pop podcast and being an A2D member, which you absolutely should still do, and Willie Vegas. But there's another way you can make some money through A2D, and that is FanUp. It is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. We're only in week 3 coming up, and you can win great prizes. Sign up today and use the promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points at $50 value at FanUp.app or app. So go check it out, guys. Go get the app. Listen, man, we try to make you money here. And not only do we want you to get that membership and make your money back by getting some money with the Money Pod and Willie Vegas, we want you to make a profit. And you can make a profit from them, and you can make a profit here too. So that's 3 ways for you to not only make back that $9.99, but actually be paid to be an A2D member.
I believe, though, FanUp is Apple only. So if you do have an Apple, definitely download the FanUp app. Win yourself some money.
Absolutely.
By the way, Child's Play's on Sci-Fi right now. I forgot how terrible this movie is. It's horrible. It's terrible.
They're remaking it.
It's
That's
a series, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a series? That's
TV
what it
series
is?
on Sci-Fi, if it's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, honestly, those films I love those films. I just love them because Brad Dourif is just hilarious. But anyway, so let's see here. Looking to buy or sell a home or looking for a change in career or brokerage? Contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at allen.foy at exprealty.com. Listen, man, Brian can tell you, making a move, it's no small task. It's a very important one. You want to do it right. Well, Alan Foy's the guy to go to make sure that you do it right. Now, let's see here. By the way, one of the things that I know everybody likes to show off a little bit or, they want to have on their wrist. I know you got one on your phone, but sometimes you just don't want to go into your pocket and pull it out and turn on the on button. What you can do is just look down at the wrist, the good old watch. It's been around since forever, and you know what? It's very handy at the end of the day. You can have ones that, you got for your workout. You got ones that you can have that are just casual, but you also have ones that make you look awesome. Just make you look like you've got money. You got the nice clothes, and you got the watch to go along with it to show it. And that's where you can go to LaTerrain.com. If you need a watch, use the promo code A2D for 10% off at LaTerrain.com. Great quality stuff there as well. And on to Specialized Physical Therapy. Listen, man, Dr. Paul Vidal, Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, man. Injuries can pop up anytime. You can have some aches and pains. The doc is the guy to go to, and they even have concussion therapies that they have as well available to them. So trust me, you're going to want to go to them. Bri will tell you, his shoulder's been doing great since he went.
Yep. Allie in Burlington, it was awesome. She did a great job doing the pretty much screening of my shoulder, figuring out the program to use, program to do, and essentially executing it. Kerry kind of just finished up the process there in Cherry Hill, and they're all great. Dr. Paul does a great job over there. He's got a great staff. They're all rock stars over there. So if you ever have any issues with anything, absolutely, don't even hesitate. Head over to Specialized Physical Therapy.
Absolutely. And Bri, quick question. What is the one thing in the world that ladies love and the one thing in the world the ladies don't?
Well, obviously the ladies don't love me, so I'm not sure what they do love. No, I know they don't love junk funk, but they do love the smell of a person who just, applied awesome, really amazing Manscaped stuff. Products, that's the word. There it is. I messed it up. Maddie, go ahead. I'm done.
All right. Manscaped, the ladies love confidence and they don't love junk funk. So get 20% off and free shipping with the A2D code at manscaped.com. Also, they have boxers available to you and a trimmings bag. So that way you're not completely classless and you clean up after yourself when you're done. If you're on the road traveling, or if you share a bathroom with, the wife or the gal or what have you, don't be classless. Clean up after yourself, for God's sakes. The trimming bag helps you with that. What's up?
No clogging drains.
Yeah. And unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Tell you what, going to Manscaped is probably one of my best things I could have asked for.
Yeah.
Everything smells nice. That lawnmower, probably one of the best investments I've ever made.
Well, there you go. There you go. And, of course, the show sponsor, Body Check Wellness. Definitely want to go check them out for focus, clarity, balance. If you want to go find, get on like a diet or get into a kind of a workout or what have you, kind of get into a solid routine or whatnot, definitely want to go to Body Check Wellness. That's going to be the place to go to. A line of products using hemp and THC-free products. A2D code, 25% off of your order. Those products, they kill it. Rob knows it. He has been top of the line using those bad boys.
Actually, the reason why I'm off camera right now, I'm using an insert from one of the most recent emails, which you can sign up for and get all the latest deals. Now, A2D is the promo code to use 24/7, 365. Right now, at this particular juncture, they're having a special celebration called the Harvest Celebration, where you can save 30% by using the promo code Harvest. You cannot combine them, obviously. They would go out of business if you gave 55 and 85% off here and there. But for the time being, you could use Harvest to get 30% off. And anytime you're restocking, they set it up where you don't have to reorder. You like certain products, you can mark it where they will ship it to you first of the month, whatever time you select it as. And at that juncture, you can use that promo code A2D throughout the year. So Body Check Wellness, go out and check out a lot of their products right now. BodyCheckWellness.com.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that one. And I think this little comment here from Wolf of Odin, Philly Wolf 90, Flyers will win the Metro this season. I'm going to leave that up to finish off the show. That's what I'm fucking talking about. The season is only just getting started. The preseason's on the way. After that, the full 82. Hockey is back, baby, and we're here for it. We'll see you guys next week right here on A2DRadio.com. Peace and love, everyone.